Yesterday, Donald Trump said, quote, "I don't really have enough time to explain." That's what he said about his war. Doesn't have enough time to explain. Someone else did explain the current status of Donald Trump's war yesterday when Donald Trump didn't have the time to explain it. And it took exactly 5 minutes to fully assess the current status of Donald Trump's war. It happened at a congressional hearing. In the hearing, Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts echoed a line that was by far the most important line and most memorable line delivered in a Senate hearing about war in our lifetimes. In 1971, long before he ever became a political candidate, John Kerry was an eloquent leader of the Vietnam veterans against the war, and he delivered the most riveting Senate testimony of that war to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Each day, to facilitate the process by which the United States washes her hands of Vietnam, someone has to give up his life, so that the United States doesn't have to admit something that the entire world already knows, so that we can't say that we've made a mistake. Someone has to die so that President Nixon won't be, and these are his words, the first president to lose a war. And we are asking Americans to think about that. Because how do you ask a man to be the last man to die in Vietnam? How do you ask a man to be the last man to die for a mistake?
Congressman Seth Moulton echoed that line yesterday. Congressman Seth Moulton was born 7 years after John Kerry's testimony about the Vietnam War, testimony that helped end the Vietnam War and saved American lives and Vietnamese lives. Like John Kerry, Seth Moulton is a combat veteran, a former United States Marine in Seth Moulton's case. Congressman Moulton used every second of his 5 minutes yesterday questioning Admiral Brad Cooper in a way that left the Admiral repeatedly close to speechless. And in the middle of Seth Moulton's questioning, he asked the Admiral if he remembers General William Westmoreland. It is an unexplained reference in the middle of the questioning, but the Admiral knew that Seth Moulton was referring to the American military commander in Vietnam who told a long string of lies about the Vietnam War and how well it was going when the United States of America was, in fact, losing that war every single day of that war. It was Seth Moulton's way of saying, be careful, do not step into the model of lying that the American military commanders fell into during a war. During a war in Vietnam that they could not defend or explain and could never win. Watching congressional hearings can be frustrating these days, with Trump cabinet members thinking that they can just lie their way through those hearings and accuse senators and members of the House of lying when they are sitting there doing the lying for Donald Trump themselves. They can be maddening affairs to watch. But in his 5 minutes yesterday, Congressman Moulton delivered exactly what a congressional hearing at its best is designed to deliver to the American people: clarity. In this case, it was an honest and clear assessment of the war that Donald Trump just does not have time to explain.
Admiral Cooper, you keep using the term significantly degraded. Last summer, we were told that Iran's nuclear weapons program was obliterated. Can you clarify the distinction between obliterated and significantly degraded?
Congressman, again, I think appropriate to talk about anything regarding the Iranian nuclear program.
No, I'm not asking you to talk about the Iran nuclear program. I'm asking you to talk about English language. What's the difference between obliterated and significantly degraded? Are they the same?
Congressman, anything regarding the nuclear program.
I'm not asking you to talk about the nuclear program, Admiral. I'm asking you to answer a question that applies to a lot of things beyond the nuclear program. You've also said that their ballistic missile program was significantly degraded. What does that mean?
The specific numbers are best, as you know from your own.
But President Trump's own national security strategy, which he signed in December, 5 months ago, used the exact same phrase, significantly degraded. So if this was true back then, 5 months ago, then why did we start this war? Was he lying to us then?
Congressman, from a military perspective, regarding
Admiral, are you familiar with General Westmoreland?
I'm very familiar, Congressman.
He's well known for talking about body counts. Now, when I think about you in this war, I always think about how you always got up there and would say everything's going according to plan. So let me just ask, Admiral, where was closing the strait in the plan?
I'm happy to discuss the specific operational aspects.
But did you just not anticipate that? Did you not think that Iran could do that? Or was that part of the plan here?
Congressman,
for 250 years, the Navy has kept sea lanes open and free. Under every previous president, the Strait of Hormuz has been open. So why is it closed under your watch?
Congressman, I've traveled through the Strait of Hormuz probably 100 times. I'm intimately familiar with it as a combatant commander.
But why is it closed? If you're so familiar with it, did you not anticipate that Iran might
answer the question? If I may answer with respect, with all due respect. My responsibility as a combatant commander is to lay out all the options, present those to the Secretary and the President. They make policy-level decisions.
So you presented
the operational aspect.
So, Admiral, you presented the reality that Iran might close the strait to the President and the Secretary of Defense.
Anything that I discuss with respect to...
okay, well, let's go back to the plan. Where was begging China for help opening the strait part of the plan?
So from a military perspective...
There are multiple reports now public that Iran has already reconstituted many of its bombed-out missile sites. Was that part of the plan, too?
Those reports are inaccurate.
Okay. I will actually give you credit for regime change. I know that was part of the plan. You've replaced an 86-year-old in failing health with a fatwa against producing nuclear weapons, with a more hardline guy in his 50s who, in case he wasn't hardline enough, you killed his immediate family. Was that part of the plan? Is that the regime change you wanted?
Congressman, we were given very specific military objectives to degrade Iran's power projection capability. That's exactly what we did.
Okay, so in the course of doing that, you also lifted the oil sanctions on Iran, giving them about $14 to $16 billion. They can buy a lot of ballistic missiles for that. Was that part of the plan? Lifting oil sanctions on them in the course of the conflict? They kill 14 Americans, we lift oil sanctions on them?
As you know, sir, the U.S. military does not lift sanctions. That's a policy decision.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where it was part of the plan. On March 5th, you talked about how you built the most integrated air missile defense or air defense system in the Middle East, and yet well into the war you had to ask Ukraine for help with defenses against drones.
That's not accurate.
Okay. What about oil prices, gas prices? Was oil prices going up 56% part of the plan?
Congressman, as you know, from a military perspective, we don't deal in oil and gas prices. I defer to the appropriate authorities within the government.
Oh my God, the fucking leftists, the Democrats, they're so evil, man. They're violent. Oh, they're so violent. They're gonna turn your fucking kids gay because they want everybody to be a transgender person. Fuck, man. Do you guys know how stupid and ignorant y'all fucking sound? I wish you guys could fucking hear yourselves. Man, I was in Oklahoma City when the Murrah building exploded. I was within that fucking area where you could feel that shit. You could hear it. You know who blew up the Murrah building? They killed like 170 or so people and a whole bunch of fucking babies and shit they were pulling from the rubble because there was a goddamn daycare inside the building. Guess who blew that fucking building up? It was a far right-wing extremist. A white man.
GM McKenzie, let's go. I fucking went outside and lost service. Sorry about that. We had a good one going too.
I I honestly cannot believe how affordable this 3.6 cubic feet mini fridge is. If you're sick and tired of constantly walking downstairs.
Furious world leaders are abandoning Donald Trump and the United States. They don't just smell weakness, they smell putrid, rancid failure. And these world leaders are forging their own alliances, which they're even saying these are alliances that need to do what NATO can no longer do. I'll talk to you about what's going on, all right? You've got Saudi Arabia, you've got Pakistan, and you've got Turkey forging what they're referring to as the Mecca Pact or the Mecca Alliance. You already had Saudi Arabia and Pakistan in a defense agreement. Well, now they are bringing in Turkey in order to forge this broader alliance. And you even have the Turkey foreign minister, and I'll show you what the Turkey foreign minister has been saying. We should bring in Egypt. We should bring in other like-minded countries to basically form our own NATO in the Middle East. This, as the United States security umbrella, no longer exists in the region. At the same time, you have countries like the United Arab Emirates feeling kind of utterly abandoned. You've got ADNOC, the Abu Dhabi oil company, and the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. They keep having their tankers struck by Iran. So they're trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, there's a rivalry between the UAE and Saudi Arabia, and now Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey entered into that alliance. So the UAE's like, we did the Abraham Accords with Israel, but now the United States and Israel look increasingly isolated in the region. Seems like joining the Abraham Accords was the wrong move right there. And so the UAE and the kind of various Emirates within there are thinking, should we be doing one-off deals with Iran? And of course, you're seeing so many countries right now reaching out to Iran directly, trying to do bilateral deals. We're talking about European countries, we're talking about Asian countries, of course, reaching out to Iran to figure out how they can use the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, this, as you have Treasury Secretary Bessent and you have Vice President Vance saying ridiculous things like, we don't need the Hormuz Strait anymore. We'll just build pipelines and that'll do it. Really? That's going to cost billions of dollars. Is the United States going to pay billions of dollars to build oil pipelines across the Middle East, which Iran can easily strike? Or as part of the so-called U.S. security umbrella, are you going to make the Arab nations now build these pipelines that can be easily struck by Iran? And also, there's a lot more that comes out of the Strait of Hormuz than just crude, right? There's a lot of produce. There's a lot of other material that goes on those tankers and those VLCCs. And just, I think all these countries are seeing the fake negotiations that Donald Trump is having with himself. They're seeing Donald Trump post weird AI images of himself and drone ports and just weird images of himself and former generals Patton and MacArthur, and Trump's like doing the stolen valor thing with the 4-star, pretending he's a 4-star general, and he and Hegseth are now posting, we won the war, we won the war, we won the war, as Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. And these countries are like, dude, what the hell is happening? Also, there's just a lot of developments that we should be very focused on. We really need to be focused on international affairs. Like Greenland issued a major warning against the Trump regime. The Trump regime has basically tried to do like a secret invasion of Greenland in the past few days. Did you know that? I know it's not a top headline, but the United States is trying to push in a mining company and a drilling company to basically start exploiting the resources in Greenland without Greenland's permission. And they just showed up like with their equipment, and Greenland's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? We'll talk about that a little more. Israel on Channel 13 at the highest level of the Netanyahu regime, they're out there saying and putting out messages right now that they view the Trump regime as utterly weak, and that Israel's now saying they plan to do offensive strikes against Iran imminently. They're at least putting that, whether they do that or they don't do that, They are putting that out on their state media in Israel, Channel 13, saying, we really don't care what the U.S. does anymore. The U.S. has demonstrated that it's very weak and that Netanyahu plans to once again invade Iran. This is part of Netanyahu's play. He thinks if he can kind of bully again Donald Trump into saying, look, we're going to, whether you like it or not, we're striking, that'll then make Donald Trump go, okay, I guess I got to join you. I guess I got to join you. But I'm not letting Trump off the hook and just be like, oh, you're just following Netanyahu. I mean, Trump is complicit in genocide. Trump is complicit in the war crimes in this disastrous and catastrophic war. But that's what Israel is.
Hey, MAGA, even though it is happening right in your goddamn face, you can continue to say it's not true. That just means you're fucking lost. You're lost.
It should be noted that Brad Cooper, who's the head of CENTCOM, and he's really a buffoon, this guy, and it pains me to say the head of CENTCOM is an absolute buffoon, but top military general.
Hey, y'all, Ace Beats stuck on stupid. When you see people stuck on stupid in the chat who got this undying belief in Trump, type SOS in the chat right now. Spam it.
Top military admirals, people who I'm speaking to, they're like, what happened to this guy, Cooper? He had a promising career, and now he's turned CENTCOM into like a Trump troll account. Any event, Cooper went to Israel, and as soon as he was there, Israel started bullying him and basically putting out statements that they're going to invade Iran imminently, is what they're putting out over Israeli media. And then you've got North Korea making billions of dollars in selling its weapons to Russia. You've got Russia making billions of dollars because the price of oil went up, and that was a kind of windfall to Russia. And the assessment from NATO is...
Shout out to people in the chat that stuck on stupid. Shout out to my chat.
That Putin, in the next year, 2 years, 3 years max, is likely going to start to try to increasingly strike and test the resolve of NATO and strike within NATO. You got Putin feeling very emboldened right now that the NATO alliance is essentially dead because of Donald Trump destroying NATO. It's exactly what Putin wanted. And then you have Xi Jinping. So Xi Jinping is essentially moving China to now take over the U.S. security umbrella in the Middle East. And those VLCCs, those very large ships, those big tankers, the Chinese ones, they go, IRGC gives them preferential treatment. The Houthis in the Red Sea give them preferential treatment because China looked after them. China helped them. China has always been helpful to Iran. And frankly, China sees this as an incredible opportunity, not just in the Middle East, but they're aware that the United States has run out of its weapons. Go think about it like this. It's wild, right? Just as Donald Trump has bankrupted all of his casinos and bankrupted all of these businesses, he bankrupted our military, man, right? He had a $1 trillion budget last year, and he ran through all of the interceptors, the PAC-3 interceptors, the THAAD interceptors, the SM-2, 3s, and 6 on the Navy destroyers. Those anti-ballistics are gone. The ATACMS, we've run out of those. The U.S. has had to...
Trump ankles look like pudding cups.
Abandon its military bases in the Middle East. So, of course, Saudi Arabia is looking at this, and they're seeing the Houthis advance in Yemen, into northern Yemen, and against the Saudi-backed government there. They're seeing the Houthis successfully strike in Saudi Arabia. Remember a few weeks back, you had the Houthis strike with their missiles and their drones 3 of the main refineries in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that dealt a massive blow. You've got the UAE having its ADNOC ships, the Abu Dhabi ships. Those tankers have been hit by Iran, so they're like, could we do a deal? Like, we need to get our tanker.
How many times have you seen an ad for a game, but when you went to go download it, the game was nothing like the ad? Not that
out.
So I have to tell you about this game-changing product I use before a night out with drinks. It's called pre-alcohol. You have to have pre-alcohol before you go out. I love getting together with friends on the weekend, but I also want to be up early the next morning with my family and ready to go. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered prebiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I seriously could not go out without this. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct. Remember to drinks for any code my.com.
Very best. We don't need Hormuz. We don't need Hormuz. Iran really wants to make a deal. And we discussed yesterday, Iran's been ruthlessly consistent in what its demands are. I see lots of people saying, Iran has made these maximalist demands now that Trump's never going to agree to, that they want control of the Strait of Hormuz, that they want sanctions relief, that they want to keep all of their weapons, that they want the US and Israel out of Lebanon, that they want Gaza to be free of Israel, that they want a Palestinian state, that they want reparations for the war. These are maximalist demands, and they're making this now just as Donald Trump says they're going to be a deal. Dude, Donald Trump's lying. Donald Trump's not even involved in the discussions between Iran and Oman. Donald Trump entered into an MOU with those very provisions.
England is going to use the arrest of the Tate brothers to expose how the Epstein trafficking ring never shut down. It only shifted owners, and the deep connections between Trump, Epstein, and the Tate brothers to bring Trump down. The connections are wild. First, Trump hired Paul Ingrazia, who is the Tate brothers' lawyer, to work inside the White House as the DHS liaison. And after Trump's special envoy, Richard...
Hit that like button for this real serious information. We got this a real drop right here. I saved this yesterday.
Grinnell arranged to bring the Tate brothers from Romania to Miami, Florida. CBP seized their devices, and Paul personally requested that those devices be returned to the Tate brothers. Devices that were probably full of evidence. And Paul has a very strange attraction toward Tate brothers, talking about their physical prowess and calling them the embodiment of ancient ideal of excellence. That's creepy. Then we have Paolo Zampoli, another special envoy of Trump's, who was a business partner of Epstein's, who secured Melania's H-1B visa back in the 90s. He hosted the Tate brothers in various political and social events. Listen, England and Europe would love to take Trump down because he is a disruption to the world order. But going to war is costly and messy. So this is the next best thing. They took down their own prince. They won't hesitate to take Trump down. So keep following, because I'm going to do a deep dive into this.
Smash that like button, double tap that screen, y'all. Open Eyes Media, bringing you that heat, bringing you that shit that you didn't know about. So sit back, get your popcorn, screw your fucking red hat on, and shut up.
Case goes on. England is going to use the arrest of the Tate brothers to expose how the Epstein trafficking ring never shut down. It only shifted owners, and the deep connections between Trump.
A message to the crybaby white Americans and the fake patriots. White America has already lost. Oops. White people are the minority in the United States.
Y'all, I know y'all leaving.
Whether you know it or not,
on y'all way out. Hit the like button on y'all way out. It's truth coming, so I know y'all motherfuckers leaving.
If you have an uprising against people of color,
let's look at the numbers drop, y'all.
In the United States, you're gonna lose bigly. Bigly, as Trump would say. You're gonna lose bigly. There are way more people of color in the United States than there are white people. It's just a sad fact for you that you don't already know, that you've already lost. So when you take up arms to start going after people of color, don't be surprised when you're outgunned and overrun by more people than you could ever imagine.
Hey, John Lane was in this bitch crying like a motherfucker, saying all kind of wild shit in the chat. Now that he hears some truth, he talking about rage bait. Are you raged about the truth? Huh? Let me back it up so your dumb ass can hear it again. Let me back
A
it up,
message to
Johnny.
the crybaby white Americans and the fake patriots. White America has already lost.
Did you hear that? Didn't I say that shit a long time ago? I said you should have started this crybaby shit 100 years ago and you would have still been too fucking late. But no. You want to start it now.
White people are the minority in the United States. And whether you know it or not, if you have an uprising against people of color in the United States, you're going to lose bigly. Bigly, as Trump would say. You're going to lose bigly. There are way more people of color in the United States.
Look, they said because now he not white. If he was on here saying some patriot shit, he would be white. But since he's saying some shit that's non-patriotic, he's Native American. And he ain't even that, even if he was.
United States than there are white people. It's just a sad fact.
Who said that? Hey, you are fucking unadulterated champion at moving the fucking goalpost. Just like they said Andrew Tate was black. His dad's black. I see a white man. Oh, Obama's mom was white. Obama's not all black. Hey, you motherfuckers is undefeated in goalpost moving.
For you.
Defeated, I mean undefeated in goalpost moving.
Oh, that you've already lost. So when you take up arms to start going after people of color, don't be surprised when you're outgunned and overrun by more people than you could ever imagine. Because you will be defeated.
Bring the shit.
In your little so-called revolution against people of color. But God loves you, and I love you. A message to the crybaby white Americans and the fake patriots.
It's funny that you would accept this man as white if he was saying the right shit. But John Lane says he's one Native American.
White America has already lost. White people are the minority in the United States. And whether you know it or not, if you have an uprising against people of color in the United States, you're going to lose bigly. Bigly, as Trump would say. You're going to lose bigly. There are way more people of color in the United States.
Hold on, let me see what kind of pussy shit y'all whining about now. I see somebody in a comment just type the word threat. You sound like a fucking PUSS fucking Y. You sound like a bitch.
Than there are white people. It's just a sad fact for you that you don't already know, that you've already lost. So when you take up arms to start going after people of color, don't be surprised when you're outgunned and overrun by more people than you could ever imagine. Because you will be defeated in your little so-called
and even if he did, even if he did, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Revolution against people of color. But God loves you, and
MAGA don't like to hear the truth. MAGA don't look at him infuriated. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. Darn brown it. Gosh darn it. Shut the fuck up.
Love you. A message to the crybaby white Americans and the fake patriots. White America has already lost. White people are the minority in the United States. And
look,
whether you...
They moving the goalposts again. Motherfucker said, illegal guns, question mark. Do it matter? It's just like Democrats and Republicans, you stupid bitches. Y'all always worrying about the wrong shit. You worrying about is the guns illegal or not, on whether or not they're gonna part your motherfucking teeth. I would be more worried about what they do than the condition. You worry about the wrong shit, buddy.
Know it or not, if you have an uprising against people of color in the United States, you're gonna lose.
Hey, when motherfuckers hear the truth, they get rattled. Look at them. I can't take this shit no more. Goddamn, go get the gun. Goddamn, go get the goddamn gun. Motherfucker. Hey, y'all. Y'all see how triggered these motherfuckers got? You can't even think right now at the thought, motherfucker. So what you gonna do in the heat of the moment? Oh, God, God. Shut the fuck up.
Bigly. Bigly, as Trump would say. Bigly, as Trump would say. You're going to lose bigly. There are way more people of color in the United States.
Nah, they know how many. They know how many. Every fucking body.
And there are white people. It's just a sad fact for you that you don't already know, that you've already lost. So when you take up arms to start going after people of color, don't be surprised when you're outgunned and overrun.
Look, motherfucker talk about it, boy, legal guns, stuff. Shut the fuck up. It don't matter. It don't matter, bitch.
By more people than you could ever imagine.
I mean, if you say it matters,
because
it
you will be defeated
your little dumb comment.
in your little so-called revolution against people of color. But God loves you.
What happened to the Indians? They're right here. You talking to one, bitch. You're talking to one, motherfucker. Fuck you mean? Y'all so stupid. Y'all don't even, y'all got lied to so good. Only thing about it is y'all not waking up. Or you choosing to stay asleep. It's too much information out here to show your dumb ass what's going on. But if you don't, I ain't teaching you. I ain't teaching you shit. You talking to a motherfucking Indian, not a Native American. We know good and motherfucking well. Ain't nobody with no long, silky motherfucking hair, eating corn and shit, built no pyramids. That's number one. So if you can't get past that, then I know that your thinking level is on the fucking floor. All right? That's number fucking one. You lost in the motherfucking sauce. Talking about some, what happened to the Indians? The genocide was with a motherfucking ink pen. It wasn't with no fucking sword or gun. You dumbass. Paper genocide, if you ain't know.
And I love you. A message to the crybaby white Americans and the...
I'm your teacher. You sitting here to listen, John Lane. I'm your teacher. So sit back and shut up.
fake patriots. White America has already lost.
Let me get y'all touched again.
White people are the minority in the United States. And whether you know it or not, if you have an uprising against people of color in the United States, you're going to lose bigly. Bigly, as Trump would say. You're going to lose bigly. There are way more people of color in the United States than there are white people.
We're all living in the past. When I say
Donald Trump's worst nightmare has arrived.
we're all...
It's just a sad fact for you that you don't already know, that you've already lost. So when you take up arms to start going after people of color, don't be surprised when you're outgunned and overrun by more people than you could ever imagine, because you will be defeated in your little so-called revolution against people of color. But God loves you, and I love you.
God loves you.
A message to the
And I love
crybaby
you.
white Americans and the fake patriots. White America has already lost. White people are the minority in the United States.
Not more than me.
And whether you know it or not, if
We're all living in the past.
Donald Trump's worst nightmare has arrived.
Listen, I can see the smoke coming off the screen. One thing MAGA don't like is hearing the truth. MAGA don't like hearing no type of challenge. MAGA wants to hear, yeehaw! It ain't happening, champ. Your bad feet and bad knees is going to be the death of you. Stop playing.
His name is Senator Ossoff. He is running for
Hold on.
real.
Bone spurs. Bone spurs. Just say that.
Election in the United States Senate for his seat in Georgia, but this right here looks very presidential. I'm going to show you this powerful speech that just took place. I'll give you the highlights moments ago where Senator Ossoff brought the House down in Savannah, Georgia. He talked about how Donald Trump threw a temper tantrum after losing all control.
Hey, Kenny, like shit. That shit don't even bother me. It's fun. I know where it's coming from, and I know where it came from, and I know who it is. So I love it. Just like when they come with the welfare shit, then I pull up the top 10 welfare states and the top 10 welfare, you know what I'm saying? When they come with the welfare arguments, and then we pull up the stats, it's overwhelmingly Republican states, Republicans. So you got to come with facts on here. If you come on here talking stupid, oh, we're going to expose you.
In the Strait of Hormuz, surrendering to Iran, so that then Donald refused to.
There's one thing I discovered this year that I needed to talk about. It is white delusion. White people think that they are the managers of the world, especially Karens. I just saw a video of a white woman ring the door.
And don't get this confused. We're not talking about people who got a loving heart and mind their fucking business and love everybody and see people for people. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you weirdos. Don't ever get it confused when the first thing that want to come out your mouth is, you're racist. If you say that to me, then that means I done shined a light on you. I love when racists call me racist. That mean I did my motherfucking job. And ain't shit racist about me, but I can show you what the fuck you are. If that makes you mad, so mad that you want to call me the same thing that you are, ooh, I did my job.
Doorbell of someone's house because they were black and asked them who they were. And if I had to see it, you had to see it.
Can I help you? Yes. I'm a neighbor, and I was wondering I saw someone here, and I hadn't seen anyone here, so okay. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
And you are?
None of your business. And please get off my property. Thank you.
Well, excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, well, just hopefully, I mean, I've lived here 26 years.
Like, I'm fed the fuck up, like, literally, I can't take this shit no more, no fucking more.
Do you know how fucking crazy you have to be to go ring someone's doorbell and then be like, who are you? You're at my house and you're asking me who I am at my house because you see a black person at the house. And then you're like, is everything okay? Why would anything be wrong? Why can't you mind your fucking business? You're not the manager of black people. You're not the manager of the world. It's actually insane to me that this will be done. And white delusion is a fucking sickness. I have a suggestion to all of you. Leave black people alone. Leave us alone. We don't be bothering nobody. This man was minding his business at his house. You went to his house to bother him, and then you probably called the cops. Leave black people alone. That's it. Enough. Enough.
Let me tell you this. What's the biggest win you've ever had on a sports book? I think...
Fuck is that? Oh, shit. That gotta be AI.
The Council of the Indies. I want y'all to watch this because don't y'all know I've been telling you about the Council of the Indies?
Many archives and libraries of Spain have special connection to Christopher Columbus, which is why our explorers are in the Archive of the Indies in Seville.
This is the General Archive of the Indies, is that right?
Yes, I was here 25 years ago. Magnificent.
This is the place where they have all the records on Columbus.
All of the colonial records.
And all of Columbus's writings, his letters, and his logs.
All the records of the galleons that sailed to and from the New World.
Everything's here.
A key.
In 1826, the great American author Washington Irving was given the task to write a biography of Columbus for the U.S.
That shit taking too long.
So the same guy that stood outside of the courthouse saying "Free Chud the Builder" stood outside of the BET Awards yelling insults about black culture. How come the folks that tell...
They're going off key. Hold up, y'all. Smash that like button, double tap that screen, god damn.
The Trump administration used your taxpayer dollars to produce a video, AI generated, that many folks online are calling North Korea style propaganda. You don't have to believe me, you can watch it for yourself.
We come to this place for MAGA, to fight, 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 and win, win, win. Because we need that, all of us. The indescribable feeling we get when we hear the national anthem. Let's stand together, stronger.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Than ever before. Under this administration, we're going somewhere we've never been. We aren't just watching history, we're making it. Rebuilding our country better than ever. A country where we don't do heartbreak, we do victory. An America that is safer, more secure, more prosperous. And any setbacks that stand in our way simply makes the comeback that much sweeter. Welcome to the golden age.
Now, this isn't political at all. Setting aside all the politics of it, imagine if Joe Biden or
That shit is for fucking pathetic. You fucking crybabies.
Barack Obama made a similar video using your taxpayer dollars. That probably cost a good amount of money to make too. It's probably not an easy production effort. It's also very dystopian, very Black Mirror-esque. Let me know what you think. Follow for more. The Trump administration used your taxpayer dollars.
Woke up this morning, saw one of my videos got 500 views. I was like,
if I have 200 views,
just keep chaining the rules. And the rest?
Smash that like button when you come into.
Can you find the other cats?
This is what would happen to someone with foamy urine if they started taking Lymphoria. After their first dose, Their system absorbs 4 powerful botanical compounds: Stillingia root, cleavers, prickly ash bark.
Stay on this video, I'll tell you how Trump done messed up big time. Oh, he has fucked up big time on this one. So let me walk you through everything. You're going to find enjoyment out of it. The Dems have just revealed how they're going to impeach Trump in 2027, and their approach is going to be different than the last 2 times they tried to impeach him in the first term. So we're going to walk through this step by step. He's got the Senate, he's got the House coming for him, and the way in which they're doing it, they're setting him up. He now has 4 things that they can get his ass with. And these 4 things I'm going to reveal to you, then I'm going to reveal their approach and how they're going to get them. Listen to all of this, share this with everyone. Here's the first thing I want to say out of my mouth. You know, I too often hear this conversation about, well, you keep saying it, but it's never happening. And I'm going to break it down to you on why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it and why it's taking so fucking long. Now, before I go any further, I want you to understand this is August what? 8th. August 8th, 8/8/26. Tomorrow morning, I got a big announcement in the morning. Please look for that video and please share that video. I want you to see it because it's going to be a very big announcement, okay, in the morning, okay? So August 9th, Sunday morning, look for that video. It is
motherfucker, it is
going to be a very personal video, okay? All right, thank you. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to explain to you is this, and I want you to get.
Hey, Stan Durko, MAGA comes here for the truth. They know they ain't gonna get no fucking truth in the MAGA chat, so they come here to get the truth so they can run back over and they say, they saying this, they saying that. So when they say this, I want y'all to type this in the chat. Weirdos.
This and understand this and share it with friends and family, okay? Anybody who don't know me, it's okay. It's all right. I worked on Kamala Harris's campaign, yada, yada. But let's go into it. The first thing I need you to understand when you say, oh, well, it hasn't happened yet. It takes time. The thing about our justice system is slow, but we got the I's dotted and the T's crossed. How do we know that? Because Jamie Raskin, Robert Garcia have been in his ass, and Elizabeth Warren has been in his ass, but not just his ass. That's a little quote there, little hint. That's why I have the thumbnail put together to look just like that for those 3 people. And it ain't just those 3 people. Oh, this motherfucker's in trouble. So let me walk you through it. There are 4 things. And then I'm going to go into the strategy they have for 2027. The 4 things are, the first is Epstein. Epstein is what's panicking him because he knows he's tied to the little itty bitty titty committee with them young girls. And he don't want that coming out because he knows that is reason instantly for any Republican to turn on him no matter what.
Well, shut the fuck up and don't try to disrupt my goddamn live stream. This ain't about you. It's a MAGA chat for you somewhere. So if you gonna come in this bitch to be on some bullshit, we're gonna get you the fuck out of here. You're not gonna type no dumb shit in our chat. I already see you type one dumb thing. Last chance, bitch.
What the fuck he says. That's why he wants senators to pass the SAVE Act, and he's so mad that they didn't pass it before they went on recess, because he needs to win even if he cheats. Him cheating? Oh my God, that never happened like in 2024. That basically never ever happened. And how, well, yeah, the you know what was still, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there right now. We're just going to go into the facts that Epstein.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes
Smash
your
that
car
like button, y'all.
That's great, but can you...
Epstein is going to be the thing that helps bring him down. That's one of 4 things. And the thing you got to know the most about Epstein is this. There's tons of evidence that they have not yet revealed, that even judges are calling in Blanche and the Trump administration say, explain to us why you didn't reveal to us what we said revealed through that Katie Fang thing. Why did you not do that? Why did you not do that? Because you're going to be the AG and you're going to tell us no. Oh, no, motherfucker, you in trouble now. But this ain't the first time they're in trouble with the judicial branch. We'll get to that. So here's the thing. Epstein, when that shit comes out, and it's coming out. It's coming out. All of you have heard my saying. He didn't win. He's not winning now. He's on the list. The list is coming out, and he's going to jail, and he's going to have company. And I believe that. But this process is slow. The difference between now and what he's done in the past, everybody got his game. Everybody know what he up to. And that's why he's been losing by 80% in the lower and appeal courts. And even the Supreme Court, he's fucked up. He's fucked up. I'm going to go to that in a minute because that's the thing I'm going to bring up number 4. So here's number 2, corruption. All in our face. 3,700 trades based on his policies in the first quarter alone. Not to mention all of the deals that are happening through his sons. Eric, Don Jr., Barron, and even Jared. They're going to jail. All right, Tiffany husband, in trouble. They're in trouble because they're making deals based upon Trump's policies, and they're shopping America like it's their bitch. And what they don't realize is that this is going to get flipped around. They gonna be the bitch. They in trouble. This is a repimpification because America don't play that. And I'm not talking about the Democrats don't play that. I'm not talking about the Congress or even the governors and attorney generals in the states. I'm talking about our system is designed to fuck people like this. I'll say that again. Our system is designed to fuck people like this. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? All right. Let's keep it moving. The third thing, he has fucked around with them banks long enough. Chase had him caught up, but it was Capital One, who's in your wallet, who just fucked him up because he opened up his mouth and opened up a whole thing about money laundering. This is how he got caught with Epstein. Because he kept talking, and they said, okay, here's a weak point. Kryptonite, we're going to get him. For the last year plus, that's how he's been getting his ass kicked over Epstein when he's usually Teflon down on everything. Well, this banking shit is laundering. You know, Capital One didn't decide based on their personal policies, on banking policies. They didn't want to think about it like this. All the money they earning from his money, they don't want to close that shit. Hundreds of millions, 300 million, 300 accounts, hundreds of millions of dollars. You think they want to close that shit? That's their money too. And they sure as hell don't want to do it with this guy who's known, former president. They don't want to do that. But they have to follow the laws because they know damn well he might be able to be lawless for a minute, but they can't be. They got to be flawless and keep up out of that shit. And they're covering their ass, not according to just their policies, but according to banking policies. Understand, they are covering their ass. That's why they're clapping back and they are not capitulating. They're like, dude, we follow banking policies. We gave you time, take your money out, get the fuck on because all of these red flags. Ain't nobody trying to fuck up their job and fuck up their money. They're not trying to go down. They got enough stupid shit they caught up in anyway. Gangsters like, we gotta let you go because we got our own gangster shit. I ain't saying that like Capital One, some great people. You know what I mean? Remember, the commercials always had the Vikings running over, beating the shit out of everybody. You know what I mean? Not a Capital One fan, but they're smart enough to cover their ass. Then that brings me to number 4. That is, they fucking right now with constitutional law over Federal Reserve, Lisa Cook, and with birthright citizenship and them doing executive orders right after the Supreme Court said no to birthright citizenship and getting rid of it. And no to fucking with the Federal Reserve. In fact, they gave him a win. They said, listen, you can fuck with the FBA, CIA, NBA, what the fuck? But you don't fuck with the Federal Reserve. Do not fuck. The one thing I've told y'all about the Supreme Court is they shut down the tariffs. They shut this shit down. You know, they're not letting them fuck around with the election or the money so far. So what this could do is going against, as a another branch of government going against the decision of judicial branch could get him kicked out, could get him in a lot of trouble, or even if it doesn't get him kicked out, get him fucked up, all his people fucked up, okay? Fucked up. Now you say, well, yeah, but they get him kicked out, but J.D. Vance, so pardon him. This is the bitch shit I always hear every fucking comment. J.D. is going to pardon him. States' rights, bitch. Do you know all four of these things affect states in some way? The Epstein thing, New Mexico is suing the Trump administration right now. You don't think they'll go after Trump? And Letitia James has straight up come after him. She's the reason why he's got his first felony as a felony president that they will not remove despite him begging. Okay? So if you think, well, the states won't do it, yeah, they will. And J.D. Vance, for those who don't know your fucking history, the history, operation, laws, and economics of our government, let me show you the whole motherfucker. Listen, this guy is in trouble, big, and his people around him, big. While you keep saying something's gonna happen, nothing's gonna happen. Bitch, please, patience, patience. God damn it, stop thinking like it's fucking McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King. You can't have it your way, and on top of that, it's not a insta-sell, it is a insta-fail. But I ain't even told you the biggest shit yet. I'm just telling you the shit that's gonna set him up to get in trouble, and if he don't get in trouble by the feds, and he will, he gonna fall to the states, because yeah, he'll get pardoned by Vance, of course. But here's the thing. Once he's kicked out, one, he don't have no immunity. Two, the states can come after him. On Epstein, Letitia James, New Mexico. On corruption, pretty much all the states this is affected. All of the states. On banking laws, money laundering, Letitia James again could come after him, and any other money that was transferred after him in Democratic states, but it's going to be Letitia mainly, okay? And then the last part of that is him going up against the Constitution. Treason. Standing against him. Not just impeachment, but empowerment to the Republican government, the Republican Congress to fight against him. They don't lose, but you know, they might have Trump, MAGA people go against him. True, he could primary. But other than that, J.D. Vance is a better person for them to work with. It's a smart move. They could punk him. He could try to punk him. But basically with these four things, you backed into the motherfucking corner. Just like people were backed into the corner over Epstein. And they backed into the corner. The Republicans will vote for shit. Normally, they're like, we got to do it. We got to do it. Now, all of that shit said, how are the Democrats going to get them? Darren, I hear you what you're saying, but how the Democrats going to get them? Let me break it down to you right motherfucking now, okay? Here's their plan. They already know that last two times they impeached this motherfucker, they couldn't get him out of office. See, impeachment don't mean shit. I thought that too. That's another thing we all mistakenly think. Impeach him. He can be impeached. He impeached twice. He eats impeachment for breakfast. It's like those roaches, they eat poison because they got used to it. Fuck it, bitch. We ain't worried about it. Nom, 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 nom. What I'm trying to tell you in this scenario is that they have a different approach. Who's they? Well, I tell you all the time there are 10 people who are fighting for our betterment, and I just mentioned the attorney generals and governors coming after Trump after he gets out of office, right? I mentioned that. I mentioned how the judicial branch standing on business with the Supreme Court and the lower courts, right? Excuse me. I've mentioned that. I haven't mentioned the other group, the nonprofits like ACLU could personally go after Trump. I've told you, that's an option. That is an option. Also, the corporate law people could go after the Trump administration, which they have, and they've also can go after Trump because they've been attacked by Trump. And they could go after him personally. They could take his ass on too. These are four entities you do not want to fuck with. But when you add to a Democratic majority, and again, that's why we show up in November, a Democratic majority brings a badass powerhouse to the element in the House and in the Senate. Because they have, again, subcommittees that are being provided by the sixth group, the Intelligence Committee, to fight after them. But I want you to understand that the problem we've had with the Democrats has been Schumer and Jeffries, right? Like, just what happened? They just extended the budget when 4 million Americans don't have Obamacare's ACA benefits. And it's expected that tens of thousands will die this year, or have died. Okay? We're in the 8th month of the year. You know, they may have died because they haven't had ACA benefits. They didn't have their benefits. They expired in December. And they didn't even stand on that shit. Weak-ass leadership. But we got independent-ass people who, in the midst of weak-ass leadership, who've been standing up. Who? Garcia. Who? Raskin. Who? Summer Lee. Who? Ayanna Pressley. Who? William Cesar. You know, I got to throw in Jasmine Crockett, even though she won't be part of the next group, but still. You know, who? Elizabeth Warren. There have been people who've been fighting straight up.
Jews don't run the world. Freemasons don't run the world. It's much darker than that. If you know their name, their organization, their family, they don't run the world. They're just puppets. The ones who actually run this world have been running it for thousands of years, and their bloodline didn't start human. The hate they made you feel, the sides they made you pick, the wars they started, the fear they fed you, none of it was real. All of it was staged to keep you from ever looking up, because if you looked up, you'd start asking questions, and if you asked enough questions, you'd find the same answer that every ancient civilization found before you. Egypt found it, Sumeria found it, Greece found it, Babylon found it, and they all recorded the same thing. Beings that came down, took women, and created something that should never exist. Children that weren't fully human, children that grew into giants so massive and so violent that entire nations were slaughtered just trying to survive them. The ancient world called them Nephilim. And here's what no one will tell you: that bloodline didn't die. It survived the flood. It buried itself inside the families that have held power ever since. They're still here, still in control, and still terrified of one thing. Not the armies, not the governments, and not the religions, but of humans finding out there's power inside them that doesn't come from any system, that doesn't require permission, and cannot flow through the Nephilim bloodline at all. I didn't learn this in church. I didn't learn this anywhere. That's why the scripture that documented it had to disappear. Scripture that exposed who this blood
on the Senate and on the House side, regardless of the weak-ass leadership of Schumer and Jeffries. So what the fuck are they gonna do? Darren, you took 15 minutes of this. I wanted to set it up for you so I can knock this out the park for you to understand. So now what we know is that there are 4 things that could get his ass out of office, even though, pardon, the states could still come after him. We also know 6 of the 10 groups out there can come after his ass over and over. Well, technically it's 7, because the 10th group is what I call the shadow docket of people who are working against him in every way to deny, delay, deflect, and make sure that they got enough evidence on this motherfucker. So out of the 10 groups of people, okay, the mayors, the county and parish presidents, and the election officials are on defense. Okay, they're on defense. But every motherfucking body else, the attorney generals, governors, the nonprofits, the judges, the corporate America pro bono people, okay, because they got attacked last year defending themselves. The independent Congress without real leadership because Schumer and Jeffries suck. Okay, the intelligence community by the thousands been fired. CIA, FBI, NSA, whole bunch of 3-letter words. We don't even know 3-letter names and departments who've been fired, who are now either working in the private sector, okay, or who are working independently inside the group, while still working, still have jobs, or they're working as retired individuals going after them, okay? We're talking about little bitty people, not big names. We ain't talking about the Jack Smiths. We ain't even gone to the Jack Smiths. We're talking about the motherfuckers whose names are not known, who are little bitty, itty bitty people. The example I give to people is that, do you know there were 6 businessmen that brought down Al Capone here in Chicago? Do you know that's how he went down? He went down over that shit, y'all. What I'm trying to build up for you to understand is that these 7 groups are so powerful that it's not just the intelligence community, but the 7th group of people that are out of the 10 are the shadow doctors. Those are the people who are working to deny, delay, deflect. They work in both defense and they work in offense in a sense where they're coming in and getting evidence out there in areas that we don't even know. There are people fighting on our behalf that we will never ever know, never see, may hear in history in the future and may not. Seriously. This is some gangster shit. Because what makes America powerful is not our federal government. It's not our states. It's not our counties. It's not our county parishes. It's not our cities. It's not our wards. It's not our precincts. It's a combination of everything that makes our very lives breathe. It's our DNA, our blood, our vessels, our nerves, our muscles. It's everything, our skin. There's things that may operate on our body right now that we don't even know the fucking name of that happened. That's how badass we are. That's how badass we're fighting. And I'm saying this for you to understand how this works with one of these groups that are going to affect these groups right here. Because like I said, the mayors, county presidents, parishes, and these other people, they're doing defense. They're doing defense. Okay, so the election officials, mayors, and county parish presidents are defense. The other 7 are coming for that ass. And here's how Congress is going to do it. I'm going to walk you through this for the rest of the video. Now that you know everything, now that you know the platform for everything. I apologize for taking so long, but there's a lot of people who are new and a lot of people who don't understand. Well, they got to do it right now. You've said that before, but it's not going to happen. Everybody who goes into the comments who says that, grab them and tell them, pay the fuck attention to the whole video. You have my permission to get them. Get them. I don't have time to get them. The whole thing is they missed the main motherfucking point. Our government, though slow, is in fact definite. And it consists of all these levels. And when this level fails, the rest of the levels still pick in and show up. Just like when your sight doesn't work as well, your ears kick up. I can hear motherfuckers like, I got my hearing is kicked up. With these glasses, I was born with cataracts. I can hear shit. My sense of touch is different, okay? Ladies, my sense of touch is different. Yeah. Here's the thing. I want you to understand. My sense of smell is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell y'all. It kicks in. That's the way America works from the federal level down to the very precincts that you live in right now, motherfucker. Now, the Dems are very, very smart. I'm talking about the independent Dems. We ain't talking about this leadership bullshit with Schumer and Jeffries. That's why I had Jamie Raskin.
Sometimes life can be a little messy. But with next-gen Nuvella Performance Fabric at Ashley, we've got your whole home covered. So you can get back to what you love, messes and all.
Today, we're making the GPT 5.6 series of models generally available. Across the family, GPT 5.6 delivers more intelligence per token and is better at staying on track, even with ambiguous prompts. Let's take a look at what it can do. I used GPT 5.6 in Codex to build a brand new card game from a short, intentionally open-ended prompt, something I'd actually want to play. The model designed the core game mechanics, generated the artwork, and shipped a working first version. But I had an idea for an even better version, so I asked it to keep going, add levels, enhance the game mechanics, customize the artwork, and create a soundtrack. I love how thorough the model is. I didn't have to worry about designing every screen, defining every interaction, or managing a stack of tickets. What I found really cool with GPT 5.6 is programmatic tool calling. When building the game, the model was able to call tools from a sandbox and avoid a lot of back and forth between the tool output and the context window. This saved me a ton of time and tokens. Another thing that makes the model so persistent are new reasoning levels above extra high that give GPT 5.6 even more thinking power. If you're using the model in Codex, GPT 5.6 is better at delegating work to sub-agents. Previous models could have access to that capability, but GPT 5.6 is trained to decide for itself when delegation is useful. With our game, the model used subagents to break the work up and finish it in parallel, like art and sound design. If you're using GPT 5.6 in the API, we have a flagship model for ambitious agentic work, a more balanced model, and our fast, affordable model for everyday tasks. This game is just one of many projects I've built with GPT 5.6, and I can't wait to see what you make. Happy building.
Robert Garcia, Elizabeth Warren. They're not going after Trump the same fucking way. They're not saying, oh, we're going to impeach him. Oh, we're going to go after him. No, motherfucker. There's an old Sun Tzu saying, you don't attack an enemy, you attack an enemy's plans. How do you get Trump? How do you get Trump? I've just given you 4 things they can get him with. They can get them with banking records. I always talk about this throughout all my videos for the last 20 months. And they get them with banking records. Here's how it works for 20 months. They will banking records will get him. See, in this Epstein Society, remember that Epstein Society? You have these 6 groups of people. You got bankers, lawyers, you got personal assistants, luxury assistants, you got the intel, because in both our intelligence community and the intelligence community internationally, they use this pedophile shit and all this money laundering shit against them so that they can, corrupt them for information. And then you got the fixers. These are the Pam Bondis of the world who go around basically keeping shit hush-hush. They could be lawyers. They could be accountants. They could be anything. Think of the movie Inside Man with Denzel Washington and Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster's character was the fixer. Here's what I want you to understand. These 2 are the ones we're going to focus on right now. Okay? This is the bankers and the lawyers. The bankers and the lawyers. That is what Garcia has been going after. The bankers and the lawyers. What did I tell you earlier? Epstein is run by bankers and lawyers. Okay, no bankers, lawyers, or at least you put enough tension and pressure on them, it shuts down the whole sex trafficking industry. You don't have to go after everybody else. Some people you won't even get. You won't get the intelligence or the fixers, but you will always get the bankers, lawyers, and if you put enough attention on them. Will they go to jail? No. But will they be exposed and possibly ruined financially or reputationally burned? Absolutely. And that's almost worse than jail for them, okay? But I want them to go to jail. No, you don't, motherfucker. You want this to happen because this hurts sex trafficking and the illegalities, okay? That's what this shit is about. Understand this. We do that with Epstein, it takes him down. You don't attack an enemy, you attack an enemy's plans. Then there's the corruption. What are they going to do? They're going for the banks. They're going for the banks and the bank accounts. What about Capital One? They're going for the banks. They're going for the bank accounts. What about the Constitution is happening? They say, I'm going to do what I want to do and do what I want to do. If he fucks around with anything with that Fed Reserve, they're going to go after that and break his ass down and tear him apart. Not to mention the Supreme Court's now got a open warrant to go and fuck him up. Question is, will they do it? If they don't, Congress can take over from there. Do you know that? Yeah, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. The other reason we're voting in Congress in November is so they can write themselves around that judgment with the Voters' Rights Act that's been around for 60 fucking years. So basically, we can go in there and tell these motherfuckers, fuck you, we're going to have black representation in any fucking state in the United States, regardless of this gerrymandering bullshit. Yes, Congress has that power. So what I want you to understand, they also have the power that if our Supreme Court punks the fuck out on this 4th thing about the Federal Reserve and about birthright citizenship, Congress can step in and whip that ass for 2027.
Can you hold back for a while?
Can you find the other cats?
Download now.
This mini PC can handle pretty much everything you need. This is the Ace Magic Mini PC. It's small enough to fit in my hand and barely takes up any space. It comes with an